Run through the tape. In life, never give up. Run through the tape.
Welcome to Oklahoma City, home to Western heritage, beautiful brick town, and some of the most raucous fans in the NBA.
This is a crowd that is always amped up.
OKC is looking for a lift by feeding off of the Thunderdome.
We're going home and we can't relax. We got to come out here and play. I'll bring the basketball even better.
But holding home court offers no guarantees, and the Warriors are primed to strike.
Now it's up to us to do our job and go win one game and try to take home court advantage back.
In a series dictated by scoring outbursts, the hottest hand holds the key.
Westbrook all the way and score. Here's Curry for three. Yes!
Oh, this is getting ridiculous.
Game 3 is going to be another dogfight, especially in an environment like they have down in OKC.
What one team calls hostile, another calls home. The Western Conference Finals. Game 3. Next.
About an hour away from what should be a highly charged Sunday night at the NBA playoffs. Game 3 between the Oklahoma City Thunder and the Golden State Warriors as we have moved to the peak in OKC. It comes your way next. Series tied at a game apiece. Crowd of better than 18,000. Another sellout. That'll be 254 in a row for the Thunder. Ready to watch game 3.
What?
Between the Thunder and the
red black lumberjack with the hat to match.
I tell you what, the way he dresses, he better be a hell of a player.
There's
I thought they had a dress code, kid.
Kevin Durant, who leads all postseason scores in the playoff scoring charts, and there is Steph Curry, whose Golden State Warriors lost game 1, took game 2, tied this thing up as we have a change of venue to Oklahoma City, where this version of Westbrook and Durant ready to go in game 3.
Go Thunder! Go Thunder!
And we welcome everybody to TNT NBA Tip-Off presented by Auto Trader. We are live in Oklahoma City for games 3 and 4 in this Western Conference Final. Good evening, everybody. I'm Ernie Johnson. This is Shaquille O'Neal. Kenny the Jet Smith is here. Charles Barkley is here. OKC treating you okay?
Oh, I love this city, man. They got, you know, what's really cool about this, I think we got the best 2 fan bases in the NBA hosting these games. It's pretty special in Oakland and here.
Definitely going to be loud in this building tonight as they play game 3. Once again, we have 2 reporters working the sidelines, one for each side. Craig Sager has got the Thunder side of things. David Aldridge on the Golden State angle. DA, what you got going into game 3?
Well, EJ, the Warriors over the last 4 years have become one of the better road teams in the NBA. You may recall their first time in the playoffs in a long time. They went into San Antonio and won a game, almost won another one. And since Steve Kerr's gotten here, things have gone even better. Now, they won the championship last year in Cleveland at Quicken Loans Arena. They won the last 2 games on the road in that series. And this year, they're doing even better. They think that they know what it takes to win on the road, and they will have to win at least 1 game here at Chesapeake Energy Arena, where the Thunder were 32-9 this season. Now, it was Golden State that gave them one of those 9 regular season losses, with Steph Curry hitting that crazy 40-footer at the end of overtime to win that game in February. And he believes that his team understands what it takes to grind out postseason wins.
The mental maturity that we've been able to sustain has been the thing that drives you, because you know it's not going to be a perfect game. It's not going to be something where you can most likely blow a team out. It's not going to happen. You got to grind out a win and do the details, the little things to help you do that. And we stay together. I think even when you might be behind the 8 ball like we were last year, down 2-1 twice in the playoffs, or we're not playing our best game, we don't splinter. As a group, we kind of use those opportunities to come together, which is what champions are all about.
Now, you may recall, EJ, that Curry went over the stands in game 2 bruised his shooting elbow, came back and finished that game, had that great third quarter. He says the 3 days off did him good. No, he didn't have to have the elbow drained. Everything's fine. He thinks he's ready to go. Andrew Bogut had that issue in the Portland series where he strained the adductor muscle. Now, he has played the first 2 games. He really has not looked like himself. But Steve Kerr and Bogut, I asked Bogut 4 times after game 2 if he was all right, and he said he's fine, so he'll play. But the Warriors are going to need that big effort that they got off the bench from their 3-headed center. Ezeli and Spates and Varejao had a big game in game 2. They're going to need it again tonight if they're going to win, EJ.
All right, thank you very much, DA. You know the best thing about DA's report right there when it came on?
Not only you get to see the shooting of Klay Thompson.
I was going to say you got the report and you got the clinic from Klay Thompson.
Yeah, and you know what the funny thing is, Ernie, as he was doing it, I turned around to see how much he was making. Exactly, I did. I turned around instead of watching the tape. I went to the live action. Like, let me go see if Klay's actually shooting the ball.
Shooter's respect right there.
Without question.
Yeah, exactly.
Put some respect on that name.
Ernie, I'm upset tonight.
I couldn't tell by the look on your face.
Well, I wanted to be outside. I wanted to see my best friend Charles Barkley ride in on a horse again. I wanted to hang out with the people outside, but I love being inside the building. But you know, last time we was here when Chuck rode in on the horse.
If you like.
I'm a little disappointed as well.
I want my man Chuck to
I
ride
like
in
being
on the horse.
outside in Oklahoma City. These
I want
people
Chuck to ride that horse again.
And you had a staring contest last
That's
time
right.
we were
I remember that.
First of all, I'm from Leeds, Alabama. I'm used to riding horses all the time.
Yeah,
That's
exactly.
regular old John Wayne, brother.
My bad.
But first of all, it's too hot to be outside, just for the record.
Yeah, I'm with you. So here's the deal. The one thing, when we started this series, and you said, okay, let's take a look at rebounding and turnovers, game in and game out. And here's what's going on so far in the first 2 games. Game 1, Thunder win the boards, have fewer turnovers. Game 2, Golden State somehow wins the boards, which is a rarity when these 2 teams play, and they have fewer turnovers. And it's a 1-1 series.
Well, it's going to be like that in every game. I mean, that's just my personal opinion because Oklahoma City is the bigger team. Cantor, Adams, and Ibaka, they've got to dominate on the boards. And Russell Westbrook and Kevin Durant cannot turn the ball over. It's pretty much going to be like that every game because Golden State's probably going to win the backcourt battle. They got the best backcourt in the NBA, but Russell and Kevin are so lackadaisical with the ball sometimes.
8 turnovers for Durant in game 2.
Yeah, he can't have that many turnovers. Your 2 best players can't be your leading turnover guys because it's up to them to make the other players around them better. But if they turn it over, they're not going to have a chance. But also, Ernie, it's going to be up to Ibaka, Cantor, and Adams. They've got to dominate down low in the paint.
One thing that bears paying attention to, I think, is when you look on the Golden State bench and you see Ron Adams over there. He is a defensive specialist, used to be a coach with the Oklahoma City Thunder, knows Westbrook and Durant very well, and KD, in fact, said, look, every little nuance they throw out there, every little wrinkle you throw out there, which is stuff that he never sees from anybody else in the league, all comes from Ron Adams, the defensive specialist for Golden State, always trying to throw something different at those 2.
I'm not going to discredit Ron Adams' ability to help out, but
thank you,
the
Kevin.
Greatest
well,
players.
it's also what Kevin Durant says.
I'm just saying the greatest players in the world.
Right, that don't matter.
It's not going to stop them offensively.
Exactly.
But the stat that we showed, Ernie, are, about the turnovers and rebounding. The most important part of that to me is when it happens. End of quarters, for some reason, the Oklahoma City Thunder, they have those letdowns and those rebounding mishaps and those turnover mishaps. They are end of quarter bad team. They are middle of the quarter and beginning of the quarter great team. So because they have so much talent, a lot of times they get away with it. But against a team like Golden State, they have to pay attention to 3 minutes and less. This is the fire drill. And now we have to be on point because, no, it's really a fire. And we can't just go through the motions and thinking that it's going to happen.
I'm anxious to see how OKC is going to come out tonight. They stole home court advantage. Are they going to protect it? Nobody's talking about Russell Westbrook. He's not playing great. He's taking care of the ball. But ever since he had that explosive third quarter, I think he's 7 for 26. So I need him to have a really big game if they want to win tonight. He needs to come out, play gangbuster, get this crowd involved. Let's get this 2-1 lead.
Things have gotten interesting between Steven Adams and Draymond Green as well. And Draymond Green has kind of gotten under the skin of Steven Adams. And Adams was asked about that before Game 3.
Does that make Draymond more annoying because he's pesky, you get that freedom to move around?
Yeah, I mean, I think he's peaked with annoyingness. So, you know what I mean? So,
yeah,
it's fine.
Okay.
When the peak of annoyingness, to which Draymond Green responds, I go into the game saying I've got to do what I need to do to help this team win. My goal is definitely not to get into Steven Adams' head. If anything, it's to get into KD and Westbrook's head. Does a superstar allow you to get into his head?
Well, a lot of superstars, if you press that button, they go off. From the superstars I grew up watching play, I remember Starks, Jordan, me, Akeem, a lot of guys with me. When you press that button, when you say certain things in the media, when you agitate in the game, I see the real superstars step up and just go off. So we'll see how these two respond tonight. But, he is a very annoying player. He gets away with a lot of pushing, a lot of touch fouls. He talks a lot. He's very voracious, but he's doing what he needs to do for his team to win.
Actually,
Vernon Maxwell was the same way.
He's very what?
Boisterous.
Oh, okay.
What you thought I said? Boisterous, boisterous.
You know what's
boisterous,
really?
V-O-I-C-E.
That's what I heard. That's what I heard. I was hoping I heard boisterous.
You know what's really interesting? Between those two guys, they're the same player. They are out there.
No, they're not.
Yeah, they are.
Draymond can shoot a little bit.
Yeah, he's a better shooter. But I'm saying they're both irritants. Is what I'm talking about. And they're both out there to lead their team from a physicality standpoint, a mental standpoint. And it really, if two guys play the exact same the way Ernie, they're gonna be annoying to each other. Yeah. But they both hell of a players. But listen, you're not gonna get in a superstar's head. You're gonna get him mad and make him go crazy. I mean, because you don't want to listen. If you get Russell Westbrook and Durant, or Steph Curry or Klay Thompson, if you annoy one of those guys, they could explode, Ernie.
Well, I wouldn't call Draymond Green a superstar, but he is a star without question. And meaning the things that make him good are the things that make him irritable to be around if you're on the other team. So he has to play with that type of energy and effort to get 18 points, 10 rebounds, 7 assists. That is monster numbers in the playoffs. Those, I don't care who you are. Those are monster numbers in the playoffs. But he gets that by getting his mind and himself in a middle focus that is irritable.
Yeah, all of this talk about irritating people, annoying people, has everybody in the truck saying, hey, look, we should have a poll. Who's the most annoying? Tweet using the hashtag most annoying. Is it Steven Adams, Draymond Green, or Chuck?
See, now you're going to get somebody cursed out again.
Who is No, all they got to do is vote. You can't vote at anybody. You can't yell at someone who's just casting a blind vote.
I told y'all about the internet. I told y'all about the internet. That's for idiots.
It's a fad? Is that what you said?
No, it's just for a bunch of people who think their opinion important, and it's not.
Somebody get on the internet, will you, please? It can't be 000 still.
Well, hey.
We'll update it.
Hey, that's just like...
Hey, don't you say it.
That's just like Shaq Fitbit. It's been stuck on 0 ever since we gave it to him for Christmas.
The countdown to tip presented by Tissot for 48 minutes
that
and
was
counting.
a good one, Chucky.
Until we tip it off.
Yeah, there it is.
Here it was.
That's the same suit you had.
Yeah, that's the same suit.
Making his arrival.
Take a look.
Smells a little bit like a horse. And who had... And we welcome you back to Oklahoma City. Look, I've been told on more than one occasion that I've got the best job in the world, and it's true. And I can say my job every night is fun, except on those nights when it isn't, except on those nights when we have to talk about losing a member of the Turner family, as we did on Friday. Trip Nichols was his name. He was 57 years old, been with Turner since 2007. He was an AD, an associate director. Worked on things like the NBA, Major League Baseball, the PGA Championship, and TNT Latin America. He was diagnosed with a brain tumor several months ago. He's fought a valiant fight. which ended on Friday. His wife, Melinda, is also a Turner employee. She's been at Turner Studios for as long as I can remember. She is the kindest, most compassionate, most faith-filled and gracious woman I have ever met. And she is facing a very difficult time right now with the loss of her husband, Tripp. And so, Melinda, I'm talking to you and to your kids, Nick and Zach and Grace and Katie, when I tell you we love you and I tell you we're praying for you. Praying for strength and praying for comfort and praying for that peace that surpasses all understanding.
With Auto Trader, trading in or selling your car is so easy. It's a slam dunk. Auto Trader.
Aerial coverage provided by Goodyear. Everything Goodyear has learned making tires for game-changing traction inspires what they roll into yours. Goodyear, more driven. Happy to report that we have our first returns on the poll about who's the most annoying.
I could have told you that, America.
Chuckster, I don't see that. I really don't.
Stop it, Ernie.
I only voted 1,000
Tastes like chicken, Ernie.
Oh, man.
Chuck could never
There you go. Thank you, Morgan Still. Thank you,
my
Morgan.
favorite metrosexual.
Hey.
Morgan Still.
Steam room.
See, there's a positive.
Hey,
there's a
hey,
positive.
I really appreciate that, Morgan.
Morgan Still.
Hey, whoa. Hey, listen, I have no problem getting manicures and pedicures, and I'm gonna sit in the steam room to moisturize my skin.
Okay.
And you
Y'all
never know
just
what kind
haters,
of bracelets
man.
you could get.
Y'all just haters. Thank you, Morgan.
All right, Billy Donovan played at Providence, played with the Knicks, assistant coach at Kentucky, head coach at Marshall, and then very successful at the University of Florida, and into his first year as an NBA head coach with the Oklahoma City Thunder, finds himself in the Western Conference Finals. Here's Craig Sager.
Westbrook all the way and scores. Russell Westbrook has brought his Thunder back. A tremendous performance by the Thunder as they take game one.
These Warrior fans are stunned. Steph Curry in Fuego with the look at Serge Ibaka.
Curry for three. Yes!
This is getting absolutely ridiculous.
The Warriors evening up this series at one apiece.
Coach, the playoffs are a series of adjustments. What's the biggest adjustment you have to make after game two?
I felt like in game one we did a really good job rebounding the basketball and give Golden State a lot of credit because they really generated a lot of extra possessions for themselves. And then I think the third thing is, continuing to try to generate good shots, just ball movement, extra passing, those kind of things. But the things that stood out the most to me, coming out of game two, was their ability to get offensive rebounds. Their ability, I think, to really create a lot of good shots for Steph, and obviously what he did in that third quarter really opened up the game for them.
A lot of people are saying Billy Donovan's really grown into the position. He's so much better, he's more comfortable with the team. Has there been a growth period for you this year?
The biggest adjustment for me, more than anything else, has been walking into a situation with a team and not knowing any of the players. At Florida, I recruited everybody. So when a player came on campus, there was already a relationship established. The hardest part for me coming in was I had no relationship established with anybody. And it took a lot of time to try to invest in trying to build relationships with guys just to get to know them. Forget about the coaching aspect of it, but just to get to know them. I always felt like from a basketball standpoint, an X and O standpoint, like I can watch tape upon tape upon tape. I can get all that done. But what you want to do as a coach is you want to put your players in the best position to be successful and effective and efficient. And I think that part takes time, where you're trying to learn everybody as best you can.
Russell Westbrook does so much for you at both ends. You say to Russell, Russ, you got to take over this game.
I love coaching Russell, and I love being around him. I mean, every day, I never have to worry about him coming ready to play. But I do think as a point guard, you've got the responsibility of one yourself, and you've got the responsibility of four of the players in the court. And I think that's what makes Russell so special, is not only is he playing with great force and passion, he's got a very high basketball intellect. And I think with his basketball IQ, he understands that he's not going to be able to do everything by himself. And I want Russell to maintain his level of aggressiveness on offense. But I think Russell, I've always said, has got to go be who he is as a player. And sometimes when you tell a player, hey, just go try to take over the game, when you go do that, a lot of times you're not reading what the defense is giving you. And I think a big part of Russell is when he is reading the defense and how they're playing, more often than not, we usually generate pretty good offense.
Of course, Billy Donovan got a lot of former Gators scattered around the NBA, including Maurice Spates playing for the Golden State Warriors against his Thunder in this series. Is this the job you thought Billy Donovan would do, or has he exceeded your expectations here?
Well, he's a good coach. I don't know if he's exceeded my expectations. He got two of the probably 5 best players in the world. Listen, Oklahoma City has a lot of talent, but it's still, we got to see how they finish this thing, because it's going to come down to mental mistakes. And most of the time, their mental mistakes are made by their 2 best players. Now, listen, I thought Scott Brooks did a terrific job. It didn't deserve to get fired. And we've got to see. They set the record. I mean, they led the NBA in most fourth quarter blown leads. So, but now they're playing against the world champions, and we're going to have to see what kind of impact Billy's going to make in these next few games.
Well, I've known Billy obviously since high school. You know, New York area, St. Agnes, we played against each other, knew each other. Crazy story is, the Providence coach at the time asked me who was the best player that I ever played against that he might not know. I said Billy Donovan.
Really?
2 weeks later, the guy signs with Providence. I don't know if I had that influence, but he was the best kid that I ever played against that people didn't know at that time. But his ability to understand that he's brought here to coach them in the last minutes of the game is going to separate him, because they can get here. Probably, they've been here 4 out of the last 6 times, Ernie, and the only 2 times they haven't been here is because they've been hurt. So they're going to get here without anyone. His job is to take them in the last 3 minutes of games to make good decisions and put them in areas of the floor to make good decisions. That is the difference.
2 things he said in his interview that made a lot of sense. Said he didn't have relationships. Obviously, he has a great relationship with their 1-2 punch. Somebody has spoken to Russell Westbrook and says, you know what, can't do it like that. A great point guard, get others involved, and he's done a great job of putting people in positions to succeed. Cantor, all the other guys are playing very well, but Chuck makes a great point. They're 2 superstars. When there's 2-3 minutes of the game left, they try to do it by themselves, and they make mental mistakes. And they're going up against a battle-tested team, and that won't work.
I know you wanted to put a cap on this. You had your hand up.
Pat Riley always said something. You know, I love picking Pat Riley's brain the few times we've had a conversation. He always uses the phrase, voluntary cooperation. It's going to be up to Kevin and Russell. They've got to hear. They got to listen. There's a difference between hearing and listening. And there's no reason these guys should have blown all these fourth quarter leads. But now they're playing the world champions, and we'll see in the next few games what the difference is. Because Scott Brooks, Kenny Smith could have got them to this point, like Kenny said. But the boys got to listen to the coach.
Aside from that one game earlier in this postseason, they have kind of reversed that trend. They're 6-1 now when they take a lead to the third, and they're 3-3 when they trail going to the fourth quarter, trying to shake off what had been a very troublesome pattern in the fourth quarter. Back with more. We're going to check out the Eastern Conference Final. Hey, did the Cavaliers lose a game?
Breaking news! Breaking news!
A little over 33 minutes until they tip it off in Game 3 of the Western Conference Finals, the Thunder and the Golden State Warriors. Meantime, in the Eastern Conference Finals, well, it was the first time Toronto had ever hosted a conference final game, and it was the first time this year that the Cavaliers lost a postseason game. Toronto leading by as many as 18 and snapping what had been a 17-game winning streak for the Cavs against Eastern Conference playoff opponents. Here's Jared Greenberg.
Friday delayed longer than normal at the Canadian border. Saturday, the Cavs' route to the NBA Finals detoured. Sunday, the Raptors playing more stifling defense. This time, though, the opponent was the Doubters. while the Cavs paraded out the self-proclaimed funniest man on the team to prove that their confidence is as high as ever.
We, the South, are going to be okay. We're going to be just fine.
People don't understand how sick or upset we be after a loss, and especially how we lost them first two games. You know, we felt embarrassed. You know, we knew that wasn't us. So to see things like that is definitely frustrating. And the only way to shut it up is to go out there and play. It's 1,000 ways to win a game. Tomorrow night it could be Cal, and it could be, you know, another big rebounder, or it could be Terrence, or the bench come up big for us. You know, it's a lot of ways outside of me have to score 30 and have to Biz not scoring, rebounding 26 times for us to figure out a way to win.
Prior to Game 4, Tyronn Lue preaching execution, which includes the coach drawing up more plays for LeBron James.
I should have called more plays to make him dominant. I think we continue to run the plays that have been effective and working throughout the course of this series, knowing that Kyrie and Kevin can get going at any time. And I should have put the ball in Bron's hands a little bit more to let him create and let him draw double teams. So that was more on me.
We're not going to go away from it just because it's one game. You know, it happens. The ball doesn't go in sometimes, but we can't lose confidence in those guys. They got us and helped us get to this point. So, you know, there's a point in time where you say, okay, you know, some of the guys are not going. Maybe let me see if I can get it going. But last night just didn't happen that way, and we have a better game plan going into Game 4.
Some league news. First, Dwayne Casey has been fined by the NBA for his critical comments of the league's officials following Game 3's win. And the NBA has also announced that Dante Jones has been suspended for Monday's Game 4. During the final moments of Game 3 on Saturday, Jones made contact with the man region of Bismack Biyombo. Now, Jones tells me it was inadvertent. He certainly did not intend to connect with Biyombo there, but he will be out, and the Cavs will be shorthanded on Monday night. Reporting from the Eastern Conference Finals, I'm Jared Greenberg.
Jared taking the old Reggie Miller approach with the man region.
What is that, Ernie?
Reference.
The groin area.
He hit him in the Biyombos. But here's
the Biyombos.
Here's the deal. Shaq, answer me this question.
Yes, sir.
Do we have a series here?
No. Cleveland has a 3-2 punch. Two of those guys shot horrible. I don't know the numbers, but I know they were not good. Toronto's at home. Crowd got behind them. They played well. Maybe a lack of focus on Cleveland part. LeBron made the point that ball goes in, sometimes it doesn't. But you know, when you got 2 out of 3 playing terrible on the road, a lot of times you're not going to win. But I don't think we have a series. You know,
Kyrie 3 for 19.
Yeah, that's bad. That's terrible.
Well, we only have a series if Toronto wins the next game.
When they're not going to win.
Well, okay.
They're not going to win. Bron ain't going to let that happen.
I mean, listen, first of all, you can't overreact. Those guys hadn't lost in a month, basically. But Toronto's got to win the next game, or they're going to lose on a quick 4-1. It's a must-win for Toronto. They played terrific last night. Biyombo, you know,
26 rebounds.
But Ashley took some hard fouls, which I like more than anything. Everybody, when I said a couple of weeks ago, take somebody out, everybody overreact. I meant just take some hard fouls. You never want to see anybody get hurt. Well, you just can't give guys layups. I love the fact that Biyombo was hitting people pretty good. I love it. This is the playoffs, man. You're supposed to take some hard fouls. You're not trying to hurt anybody, but you can't be just giving up layups. I love this. You don't want to ever hurt anybody. A couple fools on other networks trying to say I was trying to take somebody out.
Well, that's what you said. Take them out.
If y'all stupid enough, you don't understand what I meant. That's y'all stupidity. I said take hard fouls. Well, you don't want to hurt anybody, but take a hard foul every now and then.
Yeah, I think the one thing that Toronto, you know, they haven't, you know, jumped over the bridge yet and crossed over into scaring Cleveland land. They still have a lot of work to do.
They got to win the next game.
But winning the next game is everything, you know, because going back down 3-1 could be fatal.
Dangerous, yes.
DeMar DeRozan had 32 in that win. Kyle Lowry had 20 on 7 of 13 shooting. And Cleveland had led in points in the paint, 106-64 over the first 2 games, but Toronto took it 36-20. You got to look in the hallway right now as Kevin Durant and the Thunder preparing to take the floor here
I
for
always
Game
like
3.
watching that area, Ernie, because the mental preparation, you kind of see it in certain guys' eyes. You see the things that if they're getting ready to play. Like everyone has their routine and what they kind of do, and they go to certain guys to get certain energy. I just remember Chuck, and I don't. Frank Johnson was your guy. Like he was the guy that gets you a little bit extra pump. I don't know, because I just noticed it when we used to play against him. I don't know, Shaq, who was your guy that got you a little defense, that gets you a little extra pump, and you would never expect or suspect that person is the guy.
I think this is a must-win for Oklahoma City.
Yes, they got to win this game.
I think if they got any chance of winning this series, they have to win the next 2 games. But to me, this is the game they got to win, because once you get the home court, if you give it right back, all the pressure switches back to OKC.
We had a guy, Adrian Caldwell. He was our guy. His line was, "Let's bring the hammer to these Bammers," and we would get excited when we run out.
Chuck, were you a keep to yourself guy in moments like this, or were you a guy who was going up to teammates and looking them in the eye? What were you doing?
I want to be by myself, because I had so much responsibility. I was thinking about who was guarding me, number one, where's the double team coming from? Are they going to double me small? Are they going to double me big? So, because you have to play the game. Basketball is such a fast game. You have to play the game in your mind before you get to the game and be ready for every situation. So like I said, some teams going to double you small, some teams going to double you big, and you have to know where all your passes are coming out the double team.
For me, this was the moment where I knew I had to play well. I knew if I came out and played well, the others was going to play well. But a lot of guys could come in and tell when I was ready. If it was one of those games where, whatever, I'm silly, having fun, but if they know that I'm not smiling, not talking, they knew to leave me alone and call turn 5 first 5 times down.
See, that was my thing as a point guard. The first 5 possessions were in my mind right now. Okay, I have to make sure, regardless of the pace of the game, that these 5 plays happen. And 2 or 3 of them was establishing the inside game with Akeem Olajuwon, and then pitching ahead to guys like Clyde Drexler and Vernon Maxwell. So those were the 5 things in my mind.
And let me tell you something. This, to me, is a superstar game. What I mean by that is, Kevin Durant and Russell Westbrook got to set the tone.
And they got to play great.
They got to play great. They got to get this crowd involved. And then the rest of those bench players, they will follow.
They will follow.
On the other hand, if you're Golden State, Steph Curry and Klay Thompson got to come out and set the tone, because you do not want to get behind in this building. Because, like I say, Golden State, they got a tremendous fan base. This place is crazy. And when these guys are playing at home, man, them role players got a chance of being crazy.
I just absolutely love hearing from guys who have played the game what it's like in this moment, these moments before tip of a playoff game. And a tip of the hat to Matt, the camera guy, who was step for step with Kevin Durant, weighted down with all the gear. We're coming back to OKC. It's going to be a great night.
The dunking continues tonight after Game 3 of the Western Conference Finals on TNT.
They came to see a dunk contest, and one is here.
Episode 3 later tonight.
I think
after
3 is the best one.
The NBA.
Okay.
And
I think he just found his name was Festus.
This moments ago.
What
is wrong with Festus?
Nobody named their kid Festus. Stop it.
And you're a big Gunsmoke fan.
I know, other than Matt Dillon's sidekick Festus, but nobody should be naming their kid Festus in 2016.
The guy is not.
He's a good player, too, but you can't go around telling people, hey, my name is Festus.
Yes, you can.
What's your name? Your kid Festus.
And he wasn't born in 2016, by the way, Chuck.
What's you have another kid named Festus?
But that's not from this era of America. That's not an American name.
Come on, man. Come on.
Hey, we've got a real treat here tonight in Oklahoma City. The rare pregame edition of Shacked and a Fool.
Oh,
I know. And it's sponsored by Hotels.com.
And make fun of some people.
The food.
What?
Shacking the food.
What?
He's Shacked the food.
What?
The earlier edition.
You guys were off beat.
Because he was talking in our ear.
And their mics were off momentarily.
Number 1, Andrew Bogut. The big Aussie gets hit down under. But I say, I cannot say no more.
He didn't even flinch, though.
Because he gets hit down under the
Steve Kerr had more of a look like he'd gotten hit.
Wow. He didn't even flinch.
Wow.
Yeah, he did a little bit.
Oh, there it is.
Number 2, Russell Westbrook. Perfect pass to the dude in the 8th row. Hey, man, catch it.
And that's what I'm talking about.
Catch it.
Can't
catch
coach
it.
that one. Can't coach that one.
Hey, catch it. Catch it.
That was deep. I got bros in the letter. Oh, my God.
Number 3, Adam Silver.
Adam
Leaves
Silver.
Steph hanging on the handshake. No one is safe from Shackton, Commissioner.
Come on.
Wow. Oh, Commissioner, I see you. I see you, Commissioner. Commissioner, I see you.
Hanging in.
Man, putting Adam Silver on Shackton, heads will roll.
Number 4, Kevin Love. I present to you the worst three-pointer ever attempted.
Oh, that was funny.
Needs more arc.
That was funny. He's not open.
Jerk Nowinski. Number 5, Terrence Ross. If you're down by 30, make sure you make the dunk.
Oh, come on.
He won't be on next year's version of Dunk Kings.
No. It's called Flunk Kings.
This is how you do it, T.
Oh. A tutorial.
Sorry, Commissioner. Chuck told me to do it.
Yeah, okay. That was number
Shaq,
1.
I mean to tell you, that's
it wasn't me. Chuck.
That was a bold move.
Chuck is the executive producer, and he signed off on it.
If you're just joining us, there's a poll out there based on the Draymond Green, Steven Adams annoying thing, and who is the most annoying, and Chuck continuing to show the way in our Twitter poll. What? Oh, no, it was that annoying. Okay, yeah, what?
Okay.
Chuck, you're on a new level.
Only thing annoying is looking at Shaq's bare face. Bring the beard back. You did kind of go clean shaven for game 3 here.
Well, tell your mama next time she cut my hair, pay attention that she won't shave it off.
Hey man, I think I'm gonna make an executive decision.
What's that?
We're not gonna talk about anybody's mama.
I ain't talking about his mama.
Wow.
Talk about nobody's mama.
I think that would be a great move if we're actually able to pull that off.
First of all, I said if his. I didn't say his name. I said if his mama. It's a general joke.
No.
The joke was not pointed at him.
Did you reference his mother?
No, I said yes.
Hey,
Okay,
no more
but hold
mother
on.
joke.
Okay, but hold on.
No more bad tweets then.
I didn't say a name.
Let's do that.
Ernie.
I didn't say
guy. I didn't say guy who cheated me. Your mother. I just said if your mother.
That go to babyface assassin right there.
You're absolutely right. Oh, you know, Kenny, he makes it look
effortless. You didn't say it, Chuck.
He never does.
That go to Terminator right there. Turn him loose, Billy. Turn him loose.
What more could you want in a matchup than what we got here for game 3? Coming back to OKC after this.
Westbrook for 3, yes. Look downtown. Russell Westbrook. He's had a brilliant third quarter. Curry looking for a shot. Curry able to shake loose, eluding Ibaka.
This is getting ridiculous. 17 in this third quarter.
2 incredible performances, one on each side in each of the first 2 games by Westbrook and Curry. And to take it a step further, Steph in that third quarter had that 15 straight points that in a 15-2 run where he did not miss. And that put the game out of reach, and Golden State went on to take game 2. There have been times we have seen an Oklahoma City big trying to contend with Steph Curry. We got a few examples. Take me through this.
You know, I'm wondering if they're going to make some adjustments tonight. You know, they seem to switch all positions. And when you put a big on Steph Curry, this barbecue chicken alert. He has great dribbling. He's going to get open. He's going to take this shot. I would just jam up, make him drive to the hole. But when you put a big on him, He's going to say, forget the play. This is what he's going to do. He's going to get you out of position with all those herky-jerky moves, and he's going to go to work. So
I would run a pick and roll every time if they were going to switch a big on Steph Curry.
That's what I was going to say. So I'm wondering if OKC, because they're home tonight, they're going to be a little aggressive, Chuck, and try to get the ball out of his hand, double team him hard when he come off that pick and roll. What you think?
Well, I personally have no problem with the way they planned it. I'd make him drive a little bit more, but let's be realistic. Other than that one explosion, they kind of pretty much kept him in control. And let's be realistic. Oklahoma City's in the driver's seat if they can win these next 2 games. Listen, the guy's gonna score. He's the best offensive player in the world. He's one of the greatest shooters I've ever seen. But listen, he's making some tough shots. I mean, whoever they put on him, he makes tough shots.
Well, there's a difference for me, just my opinion, where when you switch out, it would be like if a guard switched out on a big, switch on the interior. He's going to feel much more confident and much more comfortable. He's going to be able to see things easier. Same thing with Steph Curry. When you switch out on a big, I think he sees things much easier and he's much more confident and much more aggressive, especially in key moments. I would never switch a big on him in key moments.
But the one thing it does, it takes Draymond Green out the game, because one of their best offensive plays, if you double Steph like a lot of teams did, that's when Draymond was having all those triple doubles, because he's coming down full speed, and it's really a 3-on-2 offense against 2. That's why they get all them lobs. So it takes Draymond out the game, so I have no problem with it.
Okay, so who you want to go off? Do you want Draymond to go off, or do you want Steph to have a big night?
Well, Steph going to get his. I don't want Draymond giving those guys layups and dunks and getting triple doubles.
There had been some speculation that Billy Donovan might change his starting lineup, might take Andre Robertson out of the starting lineup, said he and his staff were going to talk about potentially changing the starting lineup, but it appears now things will remain the same here for Game 3.
He can't be out there 5-on-4. He's not shooting the ball well. He's kind of passing up shots. I mean, they just cheating off him, Ernest, showing him no respect. They're not even looking at him. And he can't just be standing out there. I mean, they're not even guarding this dude.
Well, he was very active when he didn't even have to be active. He could have stood in one spot and got the basketball.
Yeah, but he got to make plays.
But the thing is,
look right there. So you got to make a play right there.
I told you, Ernie, I would bring in Randy Foye because he's a better offensive player. I can't just have a guy standing out there. Randy Foye can score. I mean, he's a solid defender, but I might play Foye more or even Morrow.
Yeah,
I can't have 5-on-4.
Take up the space.
Before we head to break, the Auto Trader perfect match. And look at this. This is the last night. It's 82 to 82.
You guys picked the same person tonight.
Who did you pick tonight, Shaq?
I got OKC.
I've got Golden State.
So
it has come down to this night.
You want to switch?
No, we're not switching.
You sure?
There we go. And there is Chico Robinson, the man who makes the picks. We call him Shaqo.
Chico G. It's the one and only Chico G.
Ron Burgundy.
Chico Burgundy. Chico Dog.
Here we go. Showtime!
With Auto Trader, trading in or selling your car is so easy. It's a slam dunk. Auto Trader.
Welcome back to the Auto Trader pregame show. I'm with Steven Adams, who has become quite a factor here in the playoffs. And your role has changed so much. It seems like the team is relying on you so heavily, and everybody's talking about the rebounding edge. How have you evolved this year?
I just feel like that the more I develop, the team just does a good job at putting me in positions to be successful, and that's all that this came down to. Yeah.
Golden State out-rebounded you guys as a team in Game 2. How much you take that personally?
Definitely take it personally. They should never come in and, no team should come in and do that to us. So as a big, it sucks. So, but as a team, we all got to just do a better job at boxing out and all that sort of stuff.
How have you responded since the loss?
Well, I think we responded the right way. I don't know if it's perfect, but the right way. I think we're on the right path in terms of getting back on track and coming up with a better game plan and also focus, make sure our mentality is right.
The fans love you here in OKC, but you become kind of a villain, like a wrestling villain outside of here. Not me to do with your appearance. This is what you look like in the recent yearbook picture, all clean cut. How much does your looks and appearance affect the way you play on the court?
It doesn't at all, actually, thankfully. But I don't know. I just let myself go, and people tend to like that. It's gross.
You like the look? Which one do you like better?
I don't know. That was harder to maintain. That's a $40 haircut and all that. So I save a lot of money doing this now. So that's what's good.
Well, you look good. Hope you have a good game tonight. Thanks a lot for being with us.
Cheers, mate. Thank you.
And so straight ahead here on TNT, it is Game 3 of the Western Conference Finals, live from Oklahoma City. The Warriors and the Thunder all tied up at a game apiece. Marv Albert, Reggie Miller, Chris Webber, Greg Sager, David Aldridge have it covered next.